Based on the coin toss, our first opening statement of 2 minutes will be made by Mr. Salerno.
Hello everyone. I am proud and honored to be this year's council candidate for the upcoming election. Everyone who knows me knows that I always want to serve our community. I grew up here in South Plainfield, and I plan to raise my family here in South Plainfield. I'm running this year because I know I can make a positive impact on our community as your public servant. If you elect me, you won't regret it. I just have a true and genuine love for South Plainfield. I want what is best for our town before anything else. I'm sorry, but it just does not sit well with me knowing that the Republican Party raised the municipal tax 15 points in just under 2 weeks of being sworn into public office. I stand for stabilizing our taxes and not raising them. And it turns my stomach to see how divided our residents are over the truck issue in town. I support keeping the trucks off Hamilton Boulevard. I do respect, trust, and support all the members of the ad hoc committee because something does need to be done about this truck issue dividing our residents in our town. Now that you know what I stand for, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I've been serving South Plainfield ever since I can remember living in town. As I grew up, I saw how important it was to serve my country. I joined the United States Navy just months after we were attacked on 9/11. I went to war for this country, and I served as a prison guard. When I came home to South Plainfield from the military, I got involved in serving our community. I joined the Knights of Columbus and the Italian American Club. I worked days, and I went to school at nights. I also started coaching football for the South Plainfield Eagles. Here we are 4 years later, and I'm still serving my community. I'm still on the AI Club. I'm up for my 4th and final degree as a Knight. I graduated school. I still coach for the South Plainfield Eagles. And I've also been on the planning board for the past 3 years, making town decisions and learning a lot about what's going on in our town. I love South Plainfield. My heart is in it. It always has been. I hope this year you can see it at the polls. Thank you.
Mr. Ranesh.
Thank you and welcome everyone. When I ran for office in 2005, I believed I could bring a different perspective to the council. Most people who see me in action know I'm one of the most independent members of the council. Like Rob Benjavenga, I try to look at things through a single lens, what's best for our town. I grew up in South Plainfield, went to school here, and along with my wife Kimberly, started raising our twin boys, Joseph and Harrison, here. I have an investment in our community. Because of that, I want to be known 20 years from now as someone who acted responsibly. This is especially true when it comes to taxes, spending, and borrowing. The budget we were saddled with in January was challenging, to say the least. But I believe we approached it responsibly. We also began working nonstop to make sure our first budget was different, a no-frills spending plan without gimmicks. That it is flat compared to last year's budget, I think shows how we took that challenge seriously. Another challenge has been traffic. We were promised Helen Street for more than a decade. But right after the election, it became obvious that Helen Street would never happen. However, we still needed a solution. In January, we formed a bipartisan truck committee that just chose Hollywood Avenue as the best, shortest, least expensive, and most direct route. This new route will not be cheap. That's why it's so important that we watch how we borrow. We can't afford to borrow large sums, especially for temporary solutions when we need it for Hollywood Avenue. Hollywood Avenue will also take time. In the meantime, we've got to be innovative at controlling traffic. The Metuchen Road extension is an example of this. The extension will never be a major thoroughfare. It's not intended to be. But it will take several hundred cars a day off one Oak Tree Road. The Cotton Street Park revitalization is another example of one of those types of projects that we'd like to continue. It was a low-budget idea, but made a huge impact on the residents of the borough. These are some of the things I'm proud to have worked on. Tonight I hope to tell you more about not only what we've done, but our plans for South Plainfield's future. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. Ms. Butis?
Good evening. Sorry. Good evening. I am Chrissy Butis, and I am running for Borough Council. I want to thank the South Plainfield Observer and the South Plainfield Business Association for hosting the debate and for giving me the opportunity to discuss the issues that are so important to all of us in South Plainfield. I also want to thank the members of the audience for giving me the opportunity to share my vision for the borough. I spent the last few months talking with many of you, and not only do I hear your concerns, but I share them. Your hometown is my hometown. Your concerns are my concerns. Just like you, I want to protect our open space from developers. Just like you, I want my elected officials to remember that I work hard to earn the money that I pay in taxes, and I want them to spend it carefully. Just like you, I want my elected officials to care about the good of my hometown and live up to the highest ethical standards. I have always known that I wanted to serve my hometown, so I spent years preparing myself to give you the leadership that you deserve. I earned a master's degree in public administration and have participated in numerous developmental and practical programs, including a fellowship in public policy with the Eagleton Institute of Politics and the Competitive Leadership New Jersey. I have also remained active in the community on the Board of Adjustment, the Recreation Commission, and the Public Celebrations Committee. As an athlete, I have learned that teamwork and commitment are critical to reaching your goal, and I promise you that if you do me the honor of allowing me to serve, that I will take that responsibility seriously and will devote the time and effort necessary to ensuring that life in South Plainfield is all that we want it to be. Thank you.
Mr. Benjabenga.
Thank you. In 2005, when Matt and I asked voters to support us, we promised to be watchdogs for the taxpayers, and we promised to bring new, responsible leadership to our town. While in the minority, we brought to light how our tax dollars were being wasted, like when the council spent $1.6 million on homes along Hamilton Boulevard. We also exposed how our open space property was being sold, and when the mayor wanted to double his salary, we made sure it never even made it to the floor. These are just a few ways that we watched out for the taxpayers. That's not to say that we oppose everything, just the opposite. We voted on what we believe benefited our town. When we took control in January, the time came to deliver on our vision. Since then, we've tackled some big challenges. The biggest was finances. I'm not going to go into every budget nightmare that we inherited, but I can tell you that we walked into a less than ideal situation. We made some hard choices, but we acted responsibly. We also got right to work at cutting spending. After years of million-dollar increases, we had just introduced our first budget, which is flat compared to last year's. This is despite increases we had no control over. So far this year, we have cut over $700,000 from last year's budget, and we could continue to cut more. Leadership means more than just numbers, though. We've also focused on low-budget projects throughout the borough that help families in our neighborhoods. Projects like Safe Streets, Safe Kids, curb restoration, and road resurfacing. We've been able to do these things and at the same time cut borrowing by 2/3. In this economy, we have to act responsibly and live within our means. Matt and I look forward to telling you tonight about our plan and our vision for South Plainfield in the future. And we hope that you firmly believe that this is the right change for our town. Thank you.